So I was just sitting at my kitchen table, taking a break from the decorating and looking through stuff on my laptop. But now I just want to first of all make a little introduction to this video. The video is mostly about the continuing decoration of the kitchen, how that's going. I will definitely be finished this weekend. I will. Yes, I will. So I keep telling myself. But before I continue on with my decorating, I need to have a rant. Now, you can switch off at this point, or you can skip over to all the interesting bits about the decorating, or you can really punish yourself and sit there and listen to me rant. Okay, you have choices. You have always got choices. So, I was listening to some mainstream media news as I took my car into the garage yesterday. Yeah, that's another big whopping bill, over €400 to get it fixed. But anyway, that's by the by. So I was listening to some news on the car radio and, oh God. Why can't the mainstream media tell us, the public, who pay for them, what's going on? Where are the journalists? Why are they not telling us what the politicians are up to? What the big companies are up to? Why is everything selected for us? Reminds me of being a child again. I mean, I was one of 11 children growing up in County Tyrone. My parents have earned their premier spot in heaven, that's all I can say, for the torment we children put them through. And some of my siblings continued on in that vein for a very long time. But that's another story for another day, maybe. We are just being fed nonsense. You know, in the same way as our parents, I mean, all parents do this with their children. We try to, give them the sugar-coated version of life when they're very small. Well, I felt like a very small child yesterday, listening to this rubbish on the mainstream media, on the radio. And you see, I don't listen to the news on the radio, except when there's nothing else and I'm driving along and I'm feeling a bit bored. Mostly, I gather my news hither and thither. And I can tell you, the best way to learn about what's really going on in the world is to be a hither and thither news gatherer. And, more importantly, question everything. Now, I've said that out loud because some of you say, I can't hear you, Colette. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. The nonsense. Like, I know what's going on in the world. I wish I didn't. It's a bitter pill to have to swallow. To listen to it. To see it. But this is truly the age of deceit, and the deceit is coming from the mainstream media and the politicians and the companies and the corporations and all those suited and booted. Yeah. I call it MMC. Mainstream Media Crapology. Now, you may see this word being used around the internet. I invented that word out of anger and despair many, many years ago. Crapology, yes. You know when you're fed something and then it's justified, it's called an ology, like psychology or whatever other ology you want to talk about. Crapology. And it's all selected. And there's so much left out. And you're never allowed the true context of anything. You know, the background story. What happened before this clip? Why did the person do that, say that, or think that, whatever? What happened after? You're just never given the context of what is important news, you know? So, you have to use your powers of analysis. You have to use your powers of discernment. And you have to use your moral compass every day, all day, in order to determine what is right, what is wrong, and what needs further investigation. And don't let up on it. Be informed. Be informed through your own common sense, through your own intellectual abilities, through your own analytical skills. Yes, these must be honed. These must be honed in this day and age. Question everything. Every so often I'd give a bit of a lecture like this to my kids. I'm sorry, I don't mean it to be like a lecture. I'm having a rant, okay? But they would call it a lecture. Nowadays they just call it a rant. They just say, oh, mum's on a rant, you know. Yeah. And I would say, question everything. And they would say, why? You get my drift? But seriously, folks, we are living in the age of deceit. And you're either going to be pulled along by the mainstream media, pulled along like, you know, an animal with a nose ring, because they don't regard the general population as anything other than morons who will just be fed things, you know. They are truly despicable when it comes to reporting the news. They don't. It's not news anymore. It's views. Mainstream media views. MMV. Or, if you prefer it, MMC. So on that note, I am going to continue on with this decorating. I'm getting there. I am getting there. And what I will do, when I have this finished, I'll do a very, very quick, I think I'll do one of those, what do they call, shorts? Yeah. I'll do a little short on the completed kitchen. So look out for that over the weekend. What day is it? Friday. Yeah. I have to have it finished this weekend. Oh, gosh, yeah. I can't bear this to go on another week. Enjoy the rest of the video. And I'll see you on the other side of this kitchen completed. So I have finished the painting above the top shelf. I still have to place the clock. And you can see the amount of light coming in and being reflected around the window by the sink, because I've painted the worktop white. Such a small change, but such a huge difference, don't you think? And so the painting continues. It's just gone 6:30 in the morning. And I have all but finished my coffee. Yeah. A little bit of rain falling. So I finished painting the pelmet above the kitchen window, and I have also finished doing the side of the shelves. I've placed the clock, and I've also placed the portrait of William Butler Yeats. So I only have this corner now left to do. I'm leaving this wall because the plan is, finances allowing, this wall will be tiled once the new Stanley's put in. I say new, but it's reconditioned. So thus far, I'm really pleased with how it's turning out, because it just brightens up this kitchen. It lifts the whole energy in the kitchen, and thus the mood, I suppose, and my mood coming into it and working in it. Mind you, I've always loved working in this kitchen, but it's just so much more cheerful and bright and uplifting. Now I've got to paint around the window over there on the inside, similar to this one, so you can see the difference. Yeah. And now I have to go into town and get some more paint. I began the Bealtaine project in 2004 by purchasing this old cottage, which, as you can see, has been transformed, although nothing structurally done to it, a little bit added. This was the driveway up to the cottage. Well, it was a track really, it was very difficult to get up. And this is it 20 years later. I planted over 1,100 trees and dedicated this part of my life to the project. I'm recognised by the Irish government as a writer and therefore have been accredited artist status. My first book, A Cottage in 3 Acres. My second, In Search of the Goddess Rising. My third, Walking Between Worlds. And 2 booklets, Bealtaine Cottage Guide to the Deep Midwinter and The Celtic Festival of Immock. All books can be purchased through my website, and there's a link beneath each and every video. I will be posting a link into the comment section also. You can hear me read the first 2 chapters of my book, A Cottage in 3 Acres, over on my website, bealtainecottage.com. Again, there's a link beneath each and every video.